How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Just the Ways Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm your host, Daniel.
And today we're doing a podcast.
Woo!
If you're new to the channel, please smash the subscribe button and hit the like button, and also comment some ideas or topics you guys want us to talk about in the next week's episode, and let's get into the podcast.
Yeah. Okay, so today's podcast will be all about Doomsday and also the new cast list that has been leaked. Potential cast list.
Potential cast list that leaked.
Getting into this list, it was by an insider named The Insnider. Now, this is a credible insider on Twitter. This is the list that are people that have not been announced yet, but are apparently in Avengers Doomsday. So first, we have Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, which makes complete sense. I think we all can assume that Hulk will be in this movie, and maybe he just haven't finalized his contract yet.
Yeah.
Wong is an obvious person that's going to be in this movie. Wong is usually the person in all the post-credit scenes. We need Wong back.
Also, wasn't there like set photo leaks that had Wong and James Marsden talking to each other?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Wong already had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's already there.
He's in it. Next one, Brie Larson, Captain Marvel. Last time we saw Captain Marvel was in the Marvels.
Yeah.
So she might be on like trying to look for Monica this entire time, possibly.
I mean, Kamala Khan and Miss Marvel should be trying to find.
Right, but we know
Monica.
Kamala Khan is probably assembling the Young Avengers.
Right.
So Captain Marvel is probably on her own looking for Monica.
That's true, but someone has to be looking for her.
Think about this too. Captain Marvel, she should kind of be the first one to notice that the Fantastic Four ship has come into the universe. She should be the one kind of handling that.
Handling space.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Kate Bishop Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
This is an obvious one. There was a thing where like we all said like she nodded that she was in Avengers Doomsday, and she kind of said like, oh, I wasn't nodding to that person.
Yeah.
But she's in it.
Yeah, I think she's for sure in the movie. If you look at the clip when she's on the red carpet, she definitely was nodding to the person that said, "Are you in Doomsday?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Yeah."
She slipped up.
She slipped up.
Okay, the next one is Don Cheadle War Machine. We haven't seen Don Cheadle War Machine since Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see him back because we found out in that show that he was been locked away.
He's been locked away. It's been a scroll.
Now, this was interesting. Okay, Karen Gillan, Nebula. So that means Guardians of the Galaxy are back.
Yeah, and I think as we go through this list, right, isn't there?
There is going to be
A lot of
more.
Guardians in there.
Yeah. Okay, next one, Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye. Now, there was a recent interview that Jeremy Renner did saying that the reason why he turned down Hawkeye Season 2 is because they offered him half the amount of money that they gave him in Season 1.
Yeah, I saw the interview. Jeremy Renner was basically saying, like, I wasn't asking for more money. I was just asking for the same amount of money I got paid from the first season.
Yeah.
And he thought, like, hey, I think it's fair. You know,
You're right.
I should be able to get the same amount of pay.
Next one is Miss Marvel. We already got her dad in Daredevil Born Again, and he said she's in California. She's recruiting. Next one is Okoye and Valkyrie. Valkyrie has been running Asgard. She's like the new leader of Asgard.
Yeah.
Okoye has probably just been in Wakanda. This one's great. Kiwi Kwan
Ooh.
as Obie
Key.
is coming back. Now
Let's
this
go.
confirms that the TVA will be back in Doomsday.
Yeah, it's so funny. When we saw Key last, I said, like, are you going to be in Avengers Doomsday? He goes, you got to talk to Joe Russo about that. Help me get in.
You're in it, Gabe.
Well, apparently so.
Yeah.
This is a leak.
This is a leak.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. This list could be completely false. Next is Monica Rambeau. So we all know Monica is with the X-Men right now. This is most likely going to be the X-Men that we see in Doomsday. And this is like the whole original cast X-Men.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that Monica is back. Next one is Will Poulter, Adam Warlock. So
Makes
again,
sense.
Another Guardians of the Galaxy. Riri Williams as Ironheart.
When is the Ironheart show
Riri
supposed to come out?
Ironheart.
It has to come out before Doomsday.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple months.
Yeah, I mean, Dominique Thorne did a great job in Black Panther 2, so I'm excited to see that show. So next one is America Chavez, and last time we saw her was Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
And she's like basically training
Right.
with magic.
She's going to play a big role because she can travel the multiverse.
Right. I wonder if she's gonna be like this, like the target of Doom. But I don't know. She was already the target of Scarlet Witch. So I don't know if she's gonna be like this whole like another like, oh, we're going after America again.
Yeah. Obviously, I think the Avengers will use her, though.
Right.
To help travel the multiverse.
Maybe gather a team.
Maybe she will actually travel to find Monica Rambeau and the X-Men.
Oh, and she'll run into them.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Okay, next one is Sylvie.
Sylvie.
So Sylvie will be back.
Makes sense.
Yeah, with Tom Hiddleston. Next one, She-Hulk. See, this is what I wonder. Like, when you bring characters like Deadpool and She-Hulk that could break the fourth wall,
Yeah.
does it kind of take the seriousness out of it? Because I feel like they could have like serious stories, but sometimes it could take you out of it when they break the fourth wall.
Well, I think it's going to be very subtle.
Yeah, it
Looks at
has
the
to
camera.
be.
Like, kind of do like the
Oh,
Jim.
yeah.
The Jim shrug from The Office.
Okay, next one is Cassie Lang, which makes sense as well.
Yes.
Next one is Wonder Man.
Yes.
Now that one's pretty new.
Well, Wonder Man, isn't the show supposed to come out on Disney Plus before Doomsday? We can all agree, though. It has to.
It has to.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is Hunter B-15.
Makes
will
sense.
be back. Yep, TVA. Next one is Maria Rambeau, or Binary. Makes sense as well. She's with the X-Men. Next one is Jean Grey. Now,
Jean Grey.
Which makes sense.
From the original Fox
Fox universe. Next one is Halle Berry Storm. Makes sense. Now, if we had the original X-Men and we didn't have Halle Berry, that would be a little crazy.
Yeah, 100%. Halle Berry's going to be in the film. There's no way she's not.
And the fact that they didn't release either Hugh Jackman. So it's like, can you have an original X-Men without Hugh Jackman and Halle Berry? I don't think so. Next one is Phyla. So it's the little girl in Guardians of the Galaxy that has the powers.
Okay.
Next one, Mobius, Owen Wilson. Peter Quill, Nick Fury. Clea, Doctor Strange. Peggy Carter. See, this one, is it going to be Captain Carter or is it going to be Peggy?
Okay, this kind of goes back to my whole Nomad theory.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a moment where Chris Evans is with Peggy Carter back when he went back in Endgame, and they're going to pick up in that universe after he returned the stones, and they're going to travel to that universe and back in time and pull him out to help them.
So it will be Nomad because Steve Rogers is on here too.
Yeah.
That could make sense.
I think so.
Okay, next one. These are all the missing characters that we will 100% not see. That's what they're saying on this list.
Okay.
That we're not going to see them. So Spider-Man. Now, it's possible that we're not going to see Spider-Man.
It's possible.
Because there was that whole thing of Spider-Man 4 is taking place at the same time as Doomsday.
Do I think it's likely that he's not going to show up? I think he's going to show up.
Do you think he's going to be in the actual movie or is it like post-credit scene?
I think he's going to be in the movie, but he's not going to take off the mask.
Okay, like you said, like he's going to be doing voiceover.
Yeah, I honestly think the way Spider-Man's going to roll from now on is he's going to be wearing the mask a lot more often because people don't know Peter Parker.
Right.
So I think he can. It's the whole Mandalorian thing with Pedro Pascal. Once the mask goes on, he doesn't have to be there.
Yeah. And it really makes sense too because now that Peter, like, he most likely never wants to show his identity ever again.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the need to take off his mask when he's with other heroes.
Right.
But like it makes sense for him to take off his mask in a Spider-Man film, right? Because that's when we see like him have his real life.
Right.
But when it's like with heroes, he doesn't need to take off the mask because he doesn't want to.
Right. And that's kind of how it was in the animated shows, right? Mm-hmm. In the comic books.
Yeah.
The animated shows, you never really see him take off the mask amongst heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Next one is the Wasp.
Makes sense.
Now, if we're going to have Paul Rudd and we're going to have Cassie Lang.
Yeah, you're going to have the Wasp.
But they're saying she's not in it.
Oh, she's not in it.
Yeah, these are all the missing people.
Oh, that's right.
So they're saying that she won't make an appearance.
Yeah, maybe not.
I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Next one, Vision.
Hmm.
Now, we saw a white Vision, right? Get the memories of Vision.
Right. And he flies back to Wakanda to try to go find.
So, he kind of should be in it.
I think so.
Yeah. And if not white Vision, a variant of Vision.
Yeah.
Next one, Scarlet Witch.
Not going to be in it?
That's what they're saying.
Jeez.
So maybe she was telling the truth.
Wow.
Next one is Oscar Isaac Moon Knight. Now, maybe they're just saving Moon Knight for Secret Wars.
Yeah.
But I think Moon Knight would be so fitting to finally bring him into like this team aspect.
Maybe Oscar Isaac will be Apocalypse.
That would be crazy to see him back as Apocalypse and not Moon Knight. Next one is Layla from the Moon Knight series.
Okay. Makes sense.
Makes sense if Oscar Isaac isn't making an appearance. Daredevil. Now,
not in it.
Not in it.
Makes sense.
But why?
Because he's like a street level hero in New York.
Right, but they're in New York, right? The new Avengers are in New York. And the Fantastic Four ship is being seen on surveillance from New York.
I personally just feel like Daredevil really hasn't made those connections yet.
I guess. And then Punisher's on here too. And it makes sense. I guess Punisher and Daredevil still haven't even met Spider-Man.
Yeah. No.
Daredevil
has met Spider-Man.
Met Spider-Man.
Yeah,
but like
he knows Spider-Man.
They're not like teamed up yet.
Yeah, but Daredevil, he forgot who Peter Parker was.
But he knows who Spider-Man is.
He knows who Spider-Man is.
And most likely, they all know who Spider-Man is. They know of Spider-Man. Yeah. They just don't know him.
Right.
Okay, next one. And the last one is Kraglin, Sean Gunn. If the other Guardians are in it, shouldn't Kraglin be there?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, but going off of that, should there be more in this list?
Isn't Vin Diesel going to be in it? Vin Diesel and...
as Groot?
As Groot. Bradley Cooper as Rocket. That was also on the list.
Oh, maybe you saw a different list.
Yeah. I saw them on the list.
Oh, okay. Well,
the leaked list, alleged list, not saying it's true.
Yeah. Okay, so do you think there should be more in this film, or do you think that it's right to save it for Secret Wars and be like, hey, we're giving you a lot in this one, but Secret Wars, that's like the huge one. Like we're just saving it for that.
It's tough.
To me, it makes sense that there's a little bit less in Doomsday. Because Secret Wars is supposed to be come on.
Yeah,
Secret
yeah,
Wars
yeah.
is supposed to be like the huge multiversal like big battle.
Yeah.
So Doomsday, I'm cool with it being not as big.
I still think it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy.
But yeah, obviously Secret Wars on paper should have way more heroes, way
Right.
more villains.
I just see people like complain like, why is this person not in it? Why is this person rumored to not be in it? But it's just like, guys, like we have another movie.
Yeah.
This is like a part 1, part 2 type of thing, of Infinity War and Endgame type of thing. It's gonna happen in Secret Wars. So like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to like get upset about them.
Chill. Right? Yeah, chill.
Yeah. Aside from the people missing, and aside from people I haven't named, is there anyone that you think should be in the movie that is like either I didn't say or like missing?
For me,
Like, who do you think needs to be in this story?
I feel like there's no one that necessarily needs to be in it. I think they have a great cast, and if there's one person that I would love to see in it, would be Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. If they bring back Tobey Maguire, do they have to bring back Andrew Garfield?
I think in Secret Wars, yeah.
But Doomsday could just be Tobey.
Yeah, I think you bring in Tobey for Doomsday,
Yeah.
and you don't have Tom in it then.
Oh.
That'll be interesting.
It's kind of like the Spider-Man replacement, but we're getting a non-Avenger Spider-Man into the Avengers.
Right, and I think since Tobey's never experienced the Avengers, I think it's such like a full circle moment. They teed it up so perfect in No Way Home that he hasn't experienced Avengers. He hasn't experienced like going to space.
Right.
So I think it'd be a really cool full circle moment. And I think in Secret Wars, I think you have to have Venom fight Andrew Garfield.
Ah, yeah.
That'll kind of full circle it too.
Yeah. Or he gets the symbiote suit.
Yeah, I would love to see Andrew get the symbiote suit. That would probably be more groundbreaking than Tom getting it. I also wouldn't mind seeing Tobey get it again.
Really? Now, be honest. Is it because of the memes that came from it? Or is it because you genuinely just want to see him fight with it again?
I'm curious to see, after him having the symbiote suit for a while, knowing what it did to him, taking it off, and then him having the realization like, hey, you know what? I think I need it now. I think I need it to fight.
Yeah.
And he does it one more time.
Interesting. That would be kind of cool.
But on paper, I mean, shouldn't even say on paper. For me personally, I would love to see Andrew get it. I guess in the big scheme of things, Andrew would be way cooler to have it.
Especially because we know how like dark Andrew's story got.
Yeah.
After number 2.
Yeah.
So I think Andrew should get it. But that would be really cool, having Tobey in it. I think Tobey would be a good addition to Doomsday.
Yeah. Please. I don't know what just came over me right now.
I know that.
You know what I saw in my head?
Yeah.
I saw like Tobey and Hugh Jackman talking, and I was like, yes, please.
No, but see, we need Hugh Jackman.
Oh, dude, Hugh Jackman's going to be in this movie.
We don't know yet, though.
I think so.
Yeah, he's got to be. I'm just trying to think, like, how many X-Men will they actually put in this film? Because we talked about it last week, the whole, like, sets of, like, the mutant camp and everything. So I'm just trying to think, like, how many mutants could they add to be along with the Avengers? You know what I mean? Because there's so many mutants in X-Men Last Stand.
Yeah.
So it's like, they can't bring all those in.
Why not?
Because that would be insane.
I think they will.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I think a lot of those actors that were like in the X-Men mutant scene where they have like Last Stand and all the fight, I think a lot of those were just extras, you know?
It's kind of like how in Endgame they had a bunch of people from just had like an army.
Right.
So it's going to be like that.
Wakanda.
Like a mutant army.
Yeah, I honestly think that come Secret Wars, it's going to be wild, right? You're going to have hundreds of people probably fighting.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think in Secret Wars, is it just going to be like maybe a few big name actors are coming to make appearances as certain actors, and then they're going to have obviously the main actors playing like multiple roles, and that's going to make up the variance of each hero. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be so much like all these different mutants and they're all like Last Stand, like the extras, right? Or it's going to be like, hey, this is just an example. I'm not saying this is like a thing.
Yeah.
But like, say like for Iron Man, right? It's Robert Downey Jr., Tom Cruise, and then someone else, right?
Yeah.
But Robert Downey Jr. is playing most of the variants.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And maybe have a few big name actors
Right.
playing the other variants.
Yeah. And like for like Mr. Fantastic, it's like Pedro Pascal, John Krasinski, Miles Teller, and Ewan Gruffin. And then Pedro Pascal makes up most of the variants.
I think at that point you almost have to use all the other big actors too as variants too, like multiples of them.
Oh, I see. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is some theories. Now, these are theories that we talked about on TikTok. It's the theory that the Fantastic Four is not actually in the Thunderbolts post-credit scene.
Oh boy, this one was pretty wild.
This is actually crazy, okay?
The facts were good.
Yeah. So when you look at the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, right, we already talked about last week, 14 months have gone by, New Avengers, but we also see the Space Crisis, and then we see the Fantastic Four ship come in.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at this Fantastic Four ship and you look closely, you could see on the back of the ship, there's fins, right? And there's 4 fins on this ship. And then when you go to the Fantastic Four First Steps trailer, you look at the same ship when they're like looking at like the destroyed Earth.
Yeah.
That ship only has 3 fins. And that ship looks a little bit more blue than the ship we saw in Thunderbolts.
That's true.
Now, I know in the credits it says that they're playing the Fantastic Four First Steps theme, but it could be a complete misdirect. Now, the theory is that in that ship is either Doctor Doom or the original Fantastic Four. Now, because we got to remember, this is a space crisis.
Yeah.
That means there's multiple things happening in space.
Right.
So that could mean multiple teams are coming in.
Yeah.
And this could be the original Fantastic Four with like Yohan Grufford, Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, right?
Yeah.
It could be them.
Michael Chiklis.
It could be.
Yeah.
So it makes complete sense that Fantastic Four is not the one we think it is.
I mean, is there a chance that in Fantastic Four First Steps that towards the end they build a different ship?
It's possible. That is
It's
very
possible.
possible. But think about this. We have the original X-Men coming back. Why can't we get another original team coming back?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it's a total missed opportunity not to bring them back. And Jessica Alba has reportedly said that she wants to come back.
So it
see?
it could be possible. I'm going to just clear this up right now. It could just be the lighting that's reflected onto the ship that it makes it look like there's 4 fins. But when you kind of play it in slow motion, it definitely looks like there is 4 fins on that ship.
Yeah.
Now, it could be a new ship or it could be a new team.
Or an old team.
Or an old team. Okay, another thing I want to talk about, and we talked about this on TikTok too, is Anthony Mackie posted a video of him on the Doomsday set.
Yeah.
Now, where they are, it's like blizzarding and snowing everywhere. They
Right.
look like they're in the middle of nowhere.
It definitely doesn't look like London.
Yeah. So there's a couple of theories on where this could be. Okay. We know this movie will be a multiversal movie 100%. So if we think about that, we're trying to think where could this be or when could it be? Okay.
Or
So-
if it's like in a soundstage and it's fake.
Right.
Fake
so
snow.
it could be where Captain America is frozen in ice and they're going to get a new
right.
Captain America.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be Chris Evans. It would be crazy because like Sam Wilson is the one kind of helping look for him.
Right.
Okay, another thing.
And then Sam Wilson kind of helps mentor
Yes!
Steve Rogers.
Yes. Okay, so another possibility is this actually could be where Captain America fights Iron Man
Oh, in Civil War.
in Civil War. Now, this is a possibility just because this Hydra base was like so like in the middle of nowhere. So it makes sense they could be there.
Right.
And they could get technically both of them, but Bucky's there too. So I don't think that's like that one really makes much sense.
First one's way better.
Yeah, so it makes sense that Sam Wilson could be looking for Cap frozen in ice, and they're in another universe.
And he also could be in Liberia.
Yes, and he could be in Latveria. There's a lot of possibilities, and it makes sense because now Sam Wilson. So it confirms that there is Latveria, and Sam Wilson will be at that Latveria, which also makes sense. So it could be Latveria. But I think it's really cool to think that it could be a Cap frozen in ice.
Yeah.
Just because it looks like they're in the middle of nowhere. You know, like Latveria is supposed to be like kind of like this like castle, like it's supposed to be like very kind of like this old school looking thing.
But it is known to have snow there.
It is known to have snow. He's obviously probably pointing the camera the other direction than what he's looking at. I think it could be Latveria. Yes, very possible. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is movie news. Now, we got some crazy news from Kevin Feige this week.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin Feige has said that he has a 10-year plan for the X-Men. Now, what could be made in 10 years? I think a good 5 or 6 movies could be made in 10 years for the X-Men.
Yeah. At least.
At least.
I think
Because
that's fair to say.
we see for Doomsday and Secret Wars, for the movies of that scale, and they're doing it like one year after another, that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
So it just shows like, guys, they could get this done.
Yeah.
They could get out even 8 movies possibly. I don't know if we're going to get like 4 movies and then 3 Disney Plus series. I don't know.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're going to try to do 2 live action Disney Plus shows every year.
Oh, really?
I think so.
For X-Men?
No, for
just
just,
in
Marvel in general.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. But there is a 10-year plan for X-Men. So we know the future is going to be X-Men.
Yes.
And now we're taking it back to like 2000s, like X-Men time.
Yeah.
Do you think they should do X-Men Disney Plus shows? Or should they just stick to X-Men movies?
I look at WandaVision, phenomenal show. I look at Loki, great show. You know, there's a lot of potential in Disney Plus shows, but I would love to, let's get back into the theaters. Let's go back to the movies and
Yeah.
just have like Marvel X-Men movies. And I love the idea that Kevin Feige also mentioned about like having Marvel spotlight showcases or Marvel showcases on Disney Plus, where it's like an hour special that is a self-contained story for one actor. I think John Bernthal will be the first one to get that.
Yes.
But I mean, obviously, Werewolf by Night was also an example of that. But John Bernthal having his own Punisher 1 hour special, I think is great. I love that, self-contained stories that still push the story forward.
Right.
But I think that's great.
Yeah.
Having 1 hour, give the people what they want, put it all in 1 hour and just go for it.
Yeah. And when we think about this whole 10-year plan for X-Men, that kind of tells us the future and the direction they're going to go after Secret Wars. So we know we're going to get an X-Men team. We're getting the original X-Men back.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean the original X-Men are here to stay and we're going to continue that story? Or are we going to go back to first class X-Men? Or are we going to get a mixture of new X-Men with the old X-Men and first class X-Men? See, that's where I'm they already have this set in, they know that the next 10 years is going to be X-Men focused.
I mean, I don't know how to say this in the most politically correct way.
Yeah.
But when you look at Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, right, they're pretty old. They might be in their 80s, right?
Right.
And to have a 10-year plan of them doing action superhero movies, that's a pretty...
It's demanding. Very demanding
on their body. And I don't know if at 90 years old, they're going to really want to have to do that.
Yeah.
I think Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are not going to continue after Secret Wars.
Right. They might not even be past Doomsday.
Yeah, who knows? Michael Fassbender, right, might be hopping in.
You're right.
James McAvoy might be hopping in.
Yeah.
Or they might recast. I don't know. But I just think if there's a 10-year plan, you can't think them at 90, they're going to want to be doing it still.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
You're right.
Yeah.
Next thing is Kevin Feige says that he doesn't want audiences to have to know all of the MCU and have to do all this homework to understand new movies.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that, but I also think that you shouldn't completely eliminate what the history and the knowledge that everybody has had for all these since 2008
right.
or even before that.
Yeah. And I hope that he means by the way they did Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts, it has that nostalgia and it has those moments that callbacks from the previous movies, and
right.
It makes you be happy that you saw the previous stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of people are saying that if you're new to the franchise, you can kind of hop in and enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
And kind of understand where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if it's like that, the way they did Thunderbolts, sure.
Right.
Right? Because it still allows people like you and I who have watched it and love it to come in and use our knowledge and enjoy what's presented
and enjoy it more.
Right.
Oh.
But I think people that are also watching Thunderbolts for the first time are enjoying it.
Yeah.
And they haven't really watched the MCU movies.
Yeah, so Thunderbolts is a good example, but also I feel like Deadpool and Wolverine was a good example because Sean Levy even said to watch Deadpool and Wolverine and enjoy Deadpool and Wolverine, you don't have to do a lot of homework.
No.
Now, if you did do homework, you definitely enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Blade, Electra,
right,
the original X-Men movies.
Yeah, so it makes sense that they would go in that direction where if you do have knowledge, it makes it better, but if you don't, you could still enjoy it.
Right, and I think it comes down to just good storytelling and good characters.
Yeah.
Anybody that could hop in and be like, oh, I really like this character.
Right.
Yelena Belova, I like her.
Yeah, it was so great in Thunderbolts how you could really have an attachment to Yelena, but if you know her backstory, in Black Widow and everything, you even understand her more.
Yeah.
And you connect with her more.
Right.
And with Alexi.
Yes, 100%.
So it's
and Bucky.
Yeah, so they did, dude, Thunderbolts was so good.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so moving on to Would You Rather.
Would you rather?
Okay, would you rather be stuck in the world of Inception and never know if you're in a dream, or stuck in the Truman Show where your entire life is secretly being broadcasted?
Inception.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. As a kid, I always wanted to be in the Inception world and wake up, do some crazy stuff, and then wake up.
But see, the Inception world is so you just don't know. You just don't know what's going on. You don't know if it's real or if it's not.
Well, that's why you'd have your spinning top.
Okay.
Right? If it's still spinning,
I guess in the Truman Show, you're kind of just
yeah, that's just how it is.
There. Yep. Okay. Would you rather be chosen as a tribute in the Hunger Games with your current skill set that you have right now?
Okay.
Or would you be hunted in a quiet place where you can't make a single sound?
Whew. The responsible answer is
okay.
The quiet place.
Yes, that is the responsible answer.
Now,
what is the real answer?
If I were to go into the Hunger Games right now,
yes,
and I had to run off my platform,
you're dead
to the weapons. Hey, let me answer my own question here, okay? Yes, I would die, okay? But that's not for you to say. With that, I guess I would go quiet place, because I'm pretty sure I could just stay quiet. What would you guys do? I mean, come on.
No, yeah. Quiet place is definitely
the way to go. You see how fast they're jumping off that platform? Bro, I would probably trip halfway there.
Oh, okay. Also, too, can we just talk about this? I feel like we talked about this before. But in a quiet place, dude, just live by the waterfall. Am I tripping?
Yeah, you're right.
But why
they're out there, son, Let it out. Scream.
Yeah, but like, dude, just live there. Set up a little tent right there. I mean, you'd rather sleep in a tent by a waterfall where you know you can make noise rather than a quiet farm where you always have to be quiet.
Yeah.
Right? And like that waterfall is going to run forever, man.
Yeah, you should be able to construct a cabin right there.
Yeah.
And still not be too loud.
Yeah. Okay, would you rather be a wizard at Hogwarts during the events of Deathly Hallows, or would you rather be a Jedi Padawan during Order 66?
Jedi Padawan.
What?
Dude, I would survive.
What?
I would survive.
What?
Dude, you're telling me I get a lightsaber?
Dude, yes, but you're like a kid.
Yeah. Grogu made it.
Bro, Grogu barely made it. Grogu got saved.
And how come you think I would be able to be?
No.
Sorry. Why don't you think I would be saved too?
I mean, that's just like Grogu got lucky.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, you're asking me a question.
Grogu didn't have a lightsaber.
You're asking me a question,
Yeah.
and I would rather be in the Star Wars universe. If that means dying, then I'll take that risk.
He's like, as long as I get killed by Anakin, I'm good.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, would you rather try to survive one night in the Purge universe or try to escape from the alien invasion in A Quiet Place?
You really like The Quiet Place, huh?
I feel like The Quiet Place is like a good like universe to be in where it's like you have to really think about your decision.
Oh,
Now think about this. The Purge is one night. A Quiet Place is forever.
I would go Quiet Place.
What? Are you serious? One night you have to survive, and you'd pick going to the Quiet Place where you can never make a sound, and if you slip up once, you're dead. Your whole life.
I would just get on a cruise ship.
Dude, you're gonna run out of resources.
That's just my preference. Dude, The Purge, people might just like ransack every single house on our street.
At least you could lock down your house.
Dude, I don't think so.
Dude,
We saw it in The Purge, even if the most high-tech
would you
house-
rather go up against people or aliens?
I don't think I'm going to have to... I could avoid the aliens because I'm going to be on the water. They don't go in the water, right? We saw in the new Quiet Place movie, they don't go in the water.
They don't go in the water, okay?
They don't swim.
What are you gonna do when you run out of food?
Go to another cruise ship. This is what I would do, okay?
The smart answer was start fishing.
Yes. I was going to say I would start like a garden on the ship.
So you're going with A Quiet Place.
Assuming that I could get to the ocean and get a cruise ship, yes.
Would you rather be stranded on a planet from Interstellar where 1 hour equals 7 years, or on Mars like in The Martian, but only eat potatoes?
So I would be stranded on a planet for Interstellar
Yeah.
for 7 years.
But no. 1 hour that you spend on that planet equals 7 years here.
Well, how many hours am I going to be stranded there for?
Just as long as it takes you to get off.
Well, that's not a really smart question because how am I supposed to know how long I'm going to be sitting there for?
Well, in Interstellar, they're there for like 3 hours. They're there for quite a while.
They're there for a long time. I guess the potatoes. Do the potato one?
Yeah, that would be more logical, right?
Yeah.
Just have to eat potatoes for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But you're also by yourself. At least in Interstellar, he like had Anne Hathaway.
I'm good with
And
the
Tars.
potatoes. Good with the potatoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's it for Would You Rathers.
Wait, how would you answer that? The potato one.
I think you have to go with the potatoes. If you're stuck on that planet, and you got to think at least 14 years are going to go by here. 14 years is a freaking long time. You're going to miss a lot.
Yeah.
So that's like 14 years of your life gone. So I think you got to go with the potatoes. Even though you're by yourself, at least you get to live like a peaceful life.
Right.
Potatoes.
Potatoes. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this week's episode. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button. It's the one with the thumbs up. We'd really appreciate if you hit the like button.
Hit that
And
like
comment what you guys want us to talk about next week. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on TikTok. And we'll see you guys next week on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
We'll see you on TikTok.
God bless you guys. See ya.
Love y'all.